So, I don't know why this takes so long to pop up. Spawning up here in the top left from LiT eSports is Honey Badger. And it's in the bottom right from Born Gosu, our teal Protoss. This is a song. Also, I need to change this. I am not a Gosu GSL observer. I need the damage on the bars. Thank you very much. I wish there was a hotkey to change that. To go from the damage health bars to only selected ones. Like early in the game, they're really annoying because buildings are just building constantly and they're there. If there's not full energy on a building, like these Protoss buildings, it'll show the health of that as well, which is also just stupid and annoying and it's clutter. I don't want it. But as far as I know, there's no way to just hotkey that change. PVT Acid Plant, relatively standard map. Everything, just nothing crazy really about the matchup that can happen here. Just see if you can see like Cyclone pushes from the Terran player, but again, that's something more recent in the meta. Honey Badger may be a little bit behind the meta just because it doesn't play as often. Or maybe it doesn't play as often. Who knows? Cybercore and Nexus on the way here for Assam. Natural Commencer on the way for Honey Badger as well. Start the map. So no early shenanigans. At least no pre-2-minute shenanigans from either player. We do have a factory on the way here for Honey Badger. Trying to maybe hide this, but he's not going to be able to. Yeah. Probe does get in and it does see it. He knows. He knows what is coming. Same time on the other side of the map, Honey Badger's SCV is in the main. It is seeing everything. It knows what's on the way. We do have a reactor on the barracks. Possibly could be switched over to the factory. Could be going into Cyclones. Cyclones are a fun unit. A Robo already on the way, a second KB already on the way here for the Protoss player. So he should be okay against anything that does come across the map. But Honey Badger's not going to be switching this factory over to the reactor. He's just going to be making Marines. Getting a tech lab on the factory, so perhaps I assume just for tanks. It's not like he has another barracks already made. So just staying nice and safe against, I guess, everything that a Protoss player can make by getting tanks. Yep, there we go. So 3 gates and a robo on the other side of the map. No tech really to speak of for either player. Nothing out of the Protoss just yet, so no Twilight Council. Actually, already a really quick missile turret from the engineering bay that was made by Honey Badger. Just a little extra afraid of Stargate openers. Twilight Council on the way here for Assam. Whether he wants to go into Blink, Charge, whatever happens to be, we will see. First observer is out on the map for Assam, so he will eventually get across the map and see what's going on, but there's not a lot to see right now. There's a single barracks. There's another one coming up. But this is going to put Honey Badger's stem really, really far behind. Given that he did go for this tank initially, he could try and push across the map with this, but this is just a really defensive tank, which, given the last game, seems to be the way that he likes to play. Assam, meanwhile, going for Blink behind us, so again, a relatively defensive opening. Kind of expect to see a third Command Center and a third Nexus out of our players here relatively soon. But see if Assam does want to start getting aggressive. He only has the 3 gateway. He hasn't made a Warp Prism, doesn't have one queued up just yet. So I'm not really sure if he wants to try and go into this aggressive sort of playstyle. And actually immediately throw down this Templar Archive, so that's going to be his choice coming up soon. Even without getting early charge. So he's playing super scary. Missile turret finishes in the natural. The Observer does get murdered. We do have the third Nexus. Come on up for the Protest player. Stem just started a few seconds ago for Honey Badger, so again, that's really far behind. There's no starport just yet either for him. I mean, it did finish up. What am I saying? There's no units coming out of the starport just yet. His reactor's finishing up here in a moment, so he's going to be able to go into that eventually. But everything's just a little bit behind right now for the Terran player. Both players, a decent work count, 48 workers for the Protoss, 42 for our Terran. But with the third Nexus and 3 extra gateways coming up for Assam, he's setting himself up for a really safe, possibly aggressive mid part of the game. Definitely wants to get to the point where he's got Storm available. Good number of Templar, so he can move out and across the map, and he's going to have Charge come behind it as well. But he does need to stay safe for a few minutes longer. Once these first 2 medevacs, actually first medevac and a Viking pop out here for Honey Badger, almost expect him to go across the map with a drop at least, since he did do that in the previous game. Just open up with quite a few drops, but the observer placement for Assam is decent. He's got an eye on the natural. He's got an eye down here in the bottom left as well, this drop path, and the drop path up here in the top right. So even with losing his initial observer that got across the map, he still has a really good amount of vision going on. Where did you go, medevac? Oh, there you are. Guten Tag. This is the main base. There's actually a little force of Marines in the main base as well, so maybe he wanted to pick those up. May also just be expecting, possibly a warp prism. That's not a thing. Really, Honey Badger hasn't seen anything for a really long time. JK, he did scan and see the Templar Archives at some point. He's actually scanning in, looking for that third base. He does see it, so he knows now that there's a third. He knows that maybe I need to get aggressive here, but Storm is finished. There's 3 Templar out. They're gathering up energy for a lot more Storms. Got 3 medevacs now, so drop play could start. Still no third command center out from the Terran player. So expect to see him moving across the map soon. He's got Combat Shield to be finishing up eventually. He's got concussive shells coming as well. He's got everything tech-wise. He's just not worrying too much about getting further in this game. He's got a lot of tanks, to be fair. 4 or 5 tanks. Yeah, he's got 5 tanks right now. He's gathering up his entire army. It's looking like he's gonna go across the map. Maybe just doom drop everything. And again, Assam does see this. He knows that there's units moving out, and eventually he's going to see the slow trickle of everything, including all these tanks. There are a few Immortals out. Okay, there's 1 Immortal out. There's a second one finishing up here momentarily. Extra gateways finishing up. He does have Charge finished, so Zealot's going to be able to get on top of those tanks pretty quickly. Storm as well, so it's going to require a good amount of micro here out of the Terran player to avoid just dying instantly to everything. Units on both sides of the map right now, seen by observers on both sides of the map. And our Protest player is really well set up right now for this. If Honey Badger pushes in too quickly, he does scan though, so he does see where the army actually is, so he's not going to push in and be caught off guard. So he's going to siege these tanks up and then siege into this third area, third mineral location of the Protest player. Try and get some work done, even a Liberator on the way. Marine just moves on up, takes the hit, so we can give vision to these tanks. Oh, good lord. Assam's going to just barrel down onto this. Storm's going down on most of the bile, most of the tanks. There's 2 tanks left over right now. Those will get cleaned up, baby. There we go. Last tank does go down. Most of the army does die there for Honey Badger. He even picks up and loses the medic that was picking up. He lost essentially everything. 53 army supply to 41 right now. Still 3 Templars. The really important thing is the Templars, for the most part, survived. 2 of them did die, but 2 or 3 of them managed to live through the engagement. There is no third command center for our Terran player. So Assam right now looking pretty strong. The third is just now beginning here for Honey Badger. Of course, that does mean his army is still relatively powerful. It's not like he lost the army and has nothing behind it because he had that third base early. He's got the army, but the thing is, Assam, he's got the army and he's got the better economy too. So the longer this game goes on, I think maybe once Assam maxes out, he may move across the map. Honey Badger's response to this, kind of knowing that he is a little bit behind at this point, he's going to pick up some units and try and go for a drop at least. Try to get some damage done. Try and tear your Protoss opponent apart, moving him back and forth between bases. Assam, there's a drop on this side as well. Oh, there's a Liberator. that I completely missed. Liberator on that side of the map, drop coming to the third base. The entire army was pulled back to deal with the Liberator. So now more probes can go down here at the third base. 16, 18, good lord, so many probes died. However, even with 21 probes dying, Assam still has a work lead right now. Ooh, Medivac's frightening pickup. But there's not a lot of stalkers here, so the blink isn't a huge threat to try and take care of that. Robo Bay did finish up. He does have 2 Robo facilities as well, so you could go into Colossus, which he is doing. He's going into Colossus production. He's got the ranged upgrade on the way here as well. Third command center is moving on down for Honey Badger. He's got yet another drop loaded up and moving across the map at the same time. There is a force moving out by our protest player. He's going for this third base. I mean, he sees it. He saw, I think, part of it. Oh, God! On the move command. Drop. Oh, no. That drop dies. Completely dies. That's rough. Dropping to the side of the map is moving in, so it's going to be able to get some damage done at least. It's going to drop in the main. Oh no, there's stalkers there! Assam! Just paying attention, realizing what can kill me. I'm going to deal with what can kill me and then move across the map. Storm's going down. Honey Badger plummeting in supply at this point. There are Liberators here. There's not a lot that shoots up at this point, but Honey Badger realizes he is dead. He's going to tap out. GG. Gosu going up 3-1. Still hasn't even gone to one of the Dime players yet.